Hello, hello, Otafest podcast listeners. This is Season 7, Episode 37 of the Otafest podcast. With me here today are Nancy and Jay.
In person!
And everyone in the panel room.
Holy cow!
We're peaking.
My God.
Yeah, we peaked. Nice
As
work,
we
everybody.
should.
As we should.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm very humbled. I can speak, I think, for all of us when we have our listeners with us.
Extraordinarily humbled.
Yeah. It's a fun project for us, but we know that, hopefully we can entertain you on your boring work days or on your, drives home.
commutes, yeah.
Yep, everything like that. So, But yeah, it's Sunday. We always record on Sunday, so this is normal at least.
This is normal.
Oh, yeah.
This is the normal part.
This is the most normal part of our weekend.
Everything else has been running around with heads cut off and, smiles and laughs and screams and whatever else.
What is your weekend if you're decapitating people?
Yeah, what the
I don't
heck?
decapitate people. on a
You
normal
are not
weekend.
having a good weekend.
Wow. That got dark. Okay,
No.
Jay, do you want to tell us how the weekend has been for you?
Well, my voice is kind of shot because,
me too.
as people know, I kind of bring in some guests, specifically the concert guests. Big shout out to Alex Cade, OJ the DJ, and Neat, of course, for performing yesterday. They had a fantastic concert. I hope people didn't miss out.
It was super good.
Yeah.
Me and Dio were absolutely wiped out last night. We were in our hotel room. We watched Pacific Rim. And then we were like, but you know what? What's going on right now?
choice.
There's the music going on right now. I do not want to miss it. I dragged Dio out of bed. We went down there and we partied. There
Yeah.
was so much energy in that room.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I needed to make sure that before they left today that I found our guests and I needed to tell them, your sets last night were amazing. You need to know that I loved the sets. Specific pieces of it too.
You and Brendan Hunter were there
Yes.
hanging
Oh,
out.
yeah.
We were vibing. It was
Yeah.
so good.
It's a big part just to have the dances, the concerts. That really brings people together in a different way than, the cosplay contest might or any of our other big events. That's when you just watch and get hyped. That
And your
is the
body
big part.
gets into it.
Yes.
Yes.
They had such amazing stage presence as well. It was
Oh
fantastic.
man. No wonder they're TikTok famous, huh?
Yeah, but that's why my voice is a little shot.
Yeah, same.
The Anime
Yeah,
Nightclub
same.
3 guys, they bring so much energy. They are just hype as hell.
Yeah.
In the 2 days that I've known they exist, they're like my best friends at the con.
They're just
the friendliest guys.
coolest.
Yes.
They're just the coolest. They're like, hey, you're coming to Toronto in a couple of weeks. Can we pick you up from the airport?
Yep.
And I'm just like, dudes, you're just my people.
Yeah. And, speaking of just guests, I'm hoping that people have had a chance to meet all of our guests this year. They have been so welcoming, and our community has been so welcoming to them, I know, but they're just all about getting out to cons, seeing the people, getting things signed, getting photographs done, because we've all been missing this experience over the past 2 years, right?
Oh.
So we're finally here, we're finally together. It has had some hiccups, but every year it has had hiccups. I'll be totally honest. Some people just don't know how well we hide hiccups sometimes.
Shh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Otafest has never once had a hiccup.
Ever.
Okay, so so this is the busiest I've ever seen an Otafest here.
The most.
Ever.
I think a lot of people could say that, yes.
Yes.
Like even last night at the dance at Otafest Amplified, it was like that dance floor. Wow. That dance floor was packed.
It was absolutely packed. Everyone was jumping.
Yeah.
Goddamn, we were threatening to take down the whole TCC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gunpla Hanger messaged me in the middle of the concert. I posted a little snippet of what they were playing on IG. And Gunpla Hanger posts back and he's just like, so that's what I was hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bass was just all throughout the whole building.
We apologize for nothing.
I apologize for nothing and everyone on the first 5 floors of the hotel who missed sleep because of it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You got a free show. Your hotel room got free concert audio.
Concert
Exactly.
vibes.
Yeah, even if you didn't pay for an Otafest pass, because there's some guests here that are surprisingly not here for just the con.
Normies.
Teachers. There's a teachers convention going on.
There
Like, really?
is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I met some of them and I was
that's
like,
nice.
first of all, thank you for all they do. And then I was like, kind of sorry, but they kind of know about
They
Otafest or
must.
similar events
They
as well,
must.
because obviously their student bodies know a lot about, being in these kind of communities.
Who
So-
hasn't sat in a grade 8 English class quietly typing up fan fiction? Come on.
Or doodling.
You got me, Dio.
Yeah.
You got me.
Doodling, anime characters on the little borders.
Working on
or
my
something
anime
like that.
eyes and my margins.
I totally
yeah.
did that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah.
I didn't doodle enough. They're not good.
I remember at one point in grade 11, one of the teachers tried to call me out. They were like, Angelo, if you wanted to spend my entire class drawing, why didn't you go to the art class instead? Why didn't you sign up for an art class? And I looked this teacher dead in the eye. I looked at them. I was like my brother in Christ. I signed up for art. But because my last name starts with V, I was further down the list. You are my second choice.
Whoa.
Accept
Whoa.
The truth comes out.
it. They legitimately
Yike.
accepted it. They were just like, oh, you did? Okay. Well, as you were, sir.
Yeah.
Damn. I like that. You got called out and he was like, oh. Well, all right then.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys checked out so far that's been like
Okay.
highlight?
The Kombini was everything I wanted it to be.
Right?
The corgi butt buns. From the minute I read those 3 words in our news and announcements weeks ago, I knew that I had to eat one. I knew that I had to have one of these corgi butt buns. As
So-
staff, I was lucky enough that we could pre-order them, pick them up right away. Me and Dio got a few moments. We just sat down on the floor downstairs.
Okay.
I
Okay.
ripped the cheeks into.
Jesus.
Each of us got one cheek of the corgi butt,
Oh, God.
Of course.
and I bit into it. It was so soft, so
tore those
fluffy.
cheeks asunder.
It was full of cream.
Okay. Hold on. So I also pre-ordered corgi butt buns. My illustrious guest brought his kids with him this weekend, and they are, oh my goodness, they are the
so cute.
cutest. And they're also, budding voice actors. They're also helping Brendan work on projects. And it's amazing. And these kids, they're friendly, they're well socialized, they're so dang smart. And then lunch hits, and they're hungry. I have to run to my panel. And I have buns, and I have 2 very, very hungry kids in front of me who have not had lunch yet. It's 2:30, and I gotta run for my panel.
The
and it's
ultimate
like,
sacrifice.
I will give you my strawberry melon pie. I will give you my corgi butt bun. Who wants which one? Okay, cool. I'll see you guys at dinner. I have to run. So I run down to my panel, and I am desperately messaging. I was like, guest handlers, can someone just run me a scone or a muffin or something, please? I have to do this panel, and I gave my lunch away, and to a good cause, but I gave my lunch away, and I need to eat. As I'm burning up from the inside, like a dying star, I'm like, I need blood sugar. Isla, bless her heart, grabbed a Starbucks muffin. It wasn't even a good muffin, but it was calories. It was calories, and that's exactly what I needed for yesterday's panel to be successful, and it was
Starbucks not a sponsor.
so fun. I mean, I don't even remember what muffin it was. It was just a muffin.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what I needed. I just needed something. And you know what? I couldn't.
It's what you needed, but not what you wanted.
No. But I'm now very sad that the corgi butt buns were so good because I probably won't be getting one unless I can find our purveyor and just get one directly from them.
Yeah.
But it was a worthy cause. I do not regret it.
I've
You
heard
did
nothing
the
but good
right
things.
thing, even if it was the wrong thing for you.
I will miss you, corgi butt bun, but you went to a hungry 8-year-old and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
All things considered, though, the way that the buns were, they really were 2 buns in one. So ripping them apart and
Very easy.
yeah,
It was probably
Like those
intentional.
dinner rolls. You know how they're sort of usually pulled-
Exactly.
Yeah, terrible.
exactly like that. Terrible. It had
100%
the perfect seam.
intentional.
It's exactly sharing them with a friend was definitely the way.
I try not
This
to
is the way.
I try not to pre-order too many things, or like, because I know that we have only so much stock, and I know that I'm not trying to sound like too selfish here or anything. That I was like, I want it, but
I also want other people to have a chance to get it.
Yeah. But everything I've heard about the Konbini has been amazing. Everything I've heard about merch has been amazing. People have been really supporting all of the stuff that we've done this year, and it's, again, like we were saying at the beginning of the episode, just humbling to see just how much support we really have in the community. We were out at the Marriott patio, which is sort of a new performance space that we kind of had, and we don't typically run anything there. We haven't, in the 6 or so years that we've been here, we haven't really run stuff there before. And this year I decided that we're gonna roll out the Taiko group and the Yosakut group, performance troops out there. And I was like, I don't know what to expect. All I can hope for is good weather, and that, we'll get some people rolling by. Because it's like, it's not necessarily quiet, but it's definitely like a slower area of the con, because like the panel rooms are nearby, and McLeod is, literally 2 floors down in the basement with all the major panel rooms and main events and arcade and everything like that. So I was like, maybe we'll get some people. We got a lot of support, and those groups as well, they're local community groups. They're part of community associations, Japanese community association, for example. So they need the support just as much. They want the audience. They're not, it's not that they're not interested in playing for like 5 people. They will play their hearts out in front of 5 people. But we got legit probably about 150 people each performance, which is a great thing for like that specific venue. Something that we don't get as much advertising for, as much like support for. But I promised them next year I'm even going to get them a nice stage. I'm going to get them some nice lights or whatever it is that I want, because we're going to build that up like we build everything up every year.
Yes.
So
it was really cool, though. I feel like we should try to do more on the patio when the weather is nice.
The patio's so fun. It's a great place.
Especially today, like it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold.
No.
It was sunny every now and then. The clouds would break.
It's a fun place to people watch as well if you have the time to kind of hang out.
Oh, yeah.
There was this perfect cosplayer moment where I admit that I have attachments to this person as a character. I don't know the actual cosplayer, so I will not name them. But they had this moment where they were up on the patio and they were leaned up against the glass railing and they were just looking at the view.
Right.
It was a perfectly captured moment
Right.
of just a little moment of tranquility at a con, and you're just enjoying it. You're taking it in. It was a beautiful moment. I wish I'd captured it on a camera.
But you might lose something in the translation of that anyways. It might be better just to like the ideal of it in your mind now as a memory.
It was beautiful. Well, that was when the sun was going down yesterday. Ooh. So it was just like this very captured moment that it could have been. It was a very like lovely, almost staged moment. Something
I also really liked from that patio area is like if you get a chance to like look down on the street and just see how many cosplayers we have.
Yeah.
And just like the spread of the con. It was just like it's been a little bit different since we've moved from like University of Calgary, but we've never really had a great space to kind of encapsulate how the con looks in a sense. Like there's no like high angle camera that can see everything and you can see where everybody is. That's as close as we've ever come, and it's really cool to see because you actually can see people spill over into like Canada Olympic Plaza a little bit to the east of us. They take up the main stretch of like Stephen Ave right beside us, and then like further down you can go like they're just everywhere, and I'm like, we take over downtown. That's what it feels like.
The other thing is like every now and then, last night we were going as a group for some food, and you just run into a person. They just ask like, "Hey, what is all this? What's going on?"
Yeah.
Oh, there's an anime convention. They're like,
we get it all the
that's
time.
awesome. Like just people who didn't know that Otafest exists, that
like
are just
an explosion of
experiencing
people
as it happens, and are just like thinking that this is the best thing ever. My God. I'm surrounded by nerds.
I love it.
Yeah. The other thing about cosplay, I've seen some excellent cosplay this year. I can
so
clearly
much.
tell that people have spent 2 years on a cosplay. And it's not, like, I don't know the character, but like there's that one girl on stilts. and she's like got that big black dress with like the gold headpiece.
Yes.
That looks really amazing.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know the
think it was a
character.
Final Fantasy 14 character, but I'm not
Sure.
certain. I'm
yeah.
not certain.
Couldn't tell ya.
I saw like there's a person in full war hammer gear walking around, the full blues armor suit.
The
kinda
Gundam
thing.
suit is out.
The Gundam suit is out. The Gundam
Oh, yeah.
The
statue is
Gundam
amazing.
statue's amazing.
Yes.
That's some Odaiba
Every t-
energy right there.
Every time you walk by, you see somebody posing in the same pose. It's so cool. 19 feet of statue.
Man. I wonder how heavy that thing is.
Just a few thousand
Probably
pounds.
not as heavy as it looks.
It's
but heavy.
It's fairly heavy, but a lot of it has to do with like the base and how it screws into it. Apparently, like the logistics of assembling that thing is pretty insane.
Yeah,
Not
I
as heavy
bet.
as a real Gundam, but more than a cat.
What do you mean not as heavy as a real Gundam? That's a real Gundam. What are you
What do you mean
talking
heavier than a cat?
about? Yeah, I've
mean,
seen
most
some
things
pretty
are heavy.
fat cats. I am fairly certain there's one cat that could outweigh it.
Roughly the weight of half of a giraffe.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Yes.
All right then.
But slower than an African or European swallow.
Angelo, did you get to try the
Anything.
ramen cart?
I actually have not tried the ramen cart
The
yet.
ramen cart has sold out
neither.
both days.
Sold out.
It's sold out now.
Sold out.
It was sold out like 2 hours ago. From the
Oh
time of
my
recording.
god. So on day 0 of the con, the day before the first day, we went to Goro and Gun for dinner. So I got my ramen fix there.
Yeah.
Uh,
What did you get?
Shout out to Goro and Gun, one
Goro
of
and
Otafest's
Gun,
sponsors.
thank you.
But we went there. I had like a sushi cone. I had some maki there. I had the lamb ramen. It was super good.
There was
Yes,
a
the
battle
lamb
to the.
ramen
There
was
was a potential battle to the death for the last cone, the last hand cone, and then no one took you up on it.
Oh, exactly. We got so there was an order of different appetizers, and so there were 4 of these hand rolls given out to the table, and there were more than 4 of us at the table. So when it got down to us, there was 1 left, and I looked around and I was like, "Who wants it? Who must I fight for this very last appetizer?" And people are just like, "Oh, you can have it if you want it that much. Just here." And I'm like, "What? What?
too kind.
No duel? No battle to the death? What kind of dinner is this?"
A dinner of polite Canadians.
Evidently.
Yes.
Pretty much,
Evidently.
Yes.
Most of us were.
Interestingly, that exchange about a battle to the death over this food is what was like breaking the ice with Anime Nightclub 3.
Anime Nightclub 3 are amazing.
OJ the DJ,
Oh.
such a good dude. All of them were just so positive energy. Like the most positive
Totally.
energy. The only time I heard him complain was after the show. They're like, "My feet are tired," and I'm like, "Maybe that's
think?
because you've been Naruto running around for hours and doing backflips."
Evidently.
You think?
I need to bottle their energy somehow, like
I know,
harness it.
and
I
just
need
like-
it in shot form and just be like, it's
you could-
close to the end of Sunday. We're trying to, close up, and then we got to move all this stuff back into the truck one day, and then we're like, take that shot, and we'd be like, let's go.
Anime Nightclub energy.
Yeah,
Make a cologne out of it.
yeah. It has been
It has been
wild.
a wild, wild ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my favorite thing that happened that was a surprise to me this convention.
Please do.
I am Brendan Hunter's guest handler this year. And the spotlight on voice actors was going on in Min Events. Dio was facilitating. She was asking great questions. There's fantastic energy going on stage. And then everybody claps. Everybody loved it. And then everyone's, picking up their stuff. They're getting ready to leave, vacate Main Events for the next thing that's happening. And I get tapped on the shoulder. And it's an attendee that's been coming to Otafest for I don't even know how long. And they go, "I have something for you." A bunch of us in the Cardfight Vanguard community put together your character's entire deck. here. And I like looked at it, and for like a solid 5 minutes, I just wanted to do nothing but cry. I've been looking for these cards since 2017, and no card shops in Japan have them. They're
That's
just
awesome.
And I'm just like, I took them home last night, and I was like, I'm not carrying this around. I'm gonna keep this safe. I'm gonna wrap this in some bubble wrap and like just go put it on a shrine somewhere. Like this
You
is
need
gonna
to
be
frame it.
this is gonna be my most favorite possession from this convention. Like, I've gone around to the vendors hall. I bought some cute stuff, like so much cute stuff. I bought tea, bought some cute t-shirts. I really wanted that boba plushie, but this is going to be on like a specific level of sentimental value that nothing can replace. And like, I have no words for the people who put this together for me. It is amazing. It blows my mind. I have no words.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm so full of love for this. Like, I'm just so blown away that this happened. I'm just like, I'm not a guest here.
Do you know how many cards are in the deck?
I don't know how that game works even.
You know what? They've offered to teach.
They've offered to
They
teach
gave
you.
me a deck, and they're
you
like,
go.
okay, cool, now we can teach you to play. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's
You have no
do
excuse.
it.
You can't run away from it.
Well, okay, no, we bought a starter deck a while ago,
Yeah.
but it's just a starter deck. And then we didn't have another deck to duel it with. So it was like, okay, well, then we can't play. But now I have two at home. I can try and figure out some of the rules before I sit down with the actual community that plays this competitively and learn from them.
You know that you're no longer allowed to change that deck.
Oh, God, no,
You
never.
have
can't.
to
Never.
play with that deck.
Hold on,
every
no.
time.
You need to know that deck, that Oracle deck specifically, is Battle Maidens. They are nuns with guns.
Nuns
well, that
with
just
guns.
sounds perfect.
I don't
love
need
it.
to change it. It's
Why would you
already
wanna change it?
perfectly
Yeah.
thematic.
You can't add anything that'd be better.
No, it's never going to change. It's
Exactly.
just going to be the deck, and it will be immutable forever.
That is.
I really do think that there's like, there's an opportunity here to like get it nicely framed and be like,
It's a
this
big
is your
deck though,
characters.
so like it would be like a pretty solid spread. But then I'd never be able to use it. I'd never be able to like sit
True.
there and just shuffle them and feel them in my hands. And
What we're saying is that you need a double. You need a
Oh,
copy.
I need
You need a
two.
copy.
Wow,
it's just
that's
like it's the
greedy.
collector's. That's the collector's, way to do. You have one that you keep it in the box, pristine, fresh, forever. That you'll never even let sunlight touch because you'll never look at it again. No photons will ever bounce off of that collector's item.
sake of
and then
preservation,
you
I
have
would.
one in the standard IKEA display, shelf. All glass, some questionable LED lighting choices.
I can ask Angelo about questionable LED lighting.
Oh.
Nope, never mind. Let's not talk about that.
Are you
Not sure which
questioning?
one you're actually talking about, but that's okay.
Your IKEA display case.
Oh, we don't actually have any LEDs in that one.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, shut down.
guess that never happened.
Yep.
But other things in the vendors hall. Jay, have you gotten anything so far? I've gotten a couple things.
Have not had the time, to be completely honest.
That's
So podcast is my last scheduled responsibility today. So I will probably go into the vendors area and check out because I actually want to get some cute masks.
Okay.
I wear masks a lot at work. Your own mileage may vary on masks. I don't really care. I actually kind of like masks, especially because it gets windy and cold in Calgary real easy, and I can just slap on a mask and be like, I'm warm again.
True.
But I want to get a cute one because all the ones I've had over the last 2 years are like getting a little bit threadbare and obviously worn. So that's the thing I'm looking at.
There are a lot.
Yeah,
You are going to be well taken care of.
I bet.
Indeed.
Dio and I were exploring the vendors hall, and we ran into a friend that I had not seen since Otafest 2019.
Ooh.
And we were talking to him, we were catching up, and he was like, yeah, there was these really great ties. And I was like, wait, ties? And we started looking, and they were literally 2 booths away from where we were. I was looking, and my wallet was already in pain. But there was a decision that had to be
Dad, no.
made. Do I buy their entire stock and eat nothing but instant ramen for the next month? Or do I limit myself to 2? So I started wearing one before I even left the booth.
It's a nice time.
It
Can I
is
feel
nice.
It is
Is it?
legitimately.
Ooh my gosh! Look
A
at that
gorgeous tie.
embroidery.
Oh, it's got this very pretty graphic of a lady on a kimono and very floral.
It's
a
very
So I got
pretty.
a nice pastel purple one and a more deep black one that has some nice red and white kitsune motif going onto it.
Nice.
And it's
nice.
just
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't wear ties
approve.
enough, but now I need more excuses.
I approve.
More
if this is what it
excuses?
takes to get you to wear more ties, then hell yeah.
Because this is absolute
That's very nice.
wonderful.
I might go seek them out themselves. I do like a good tie.
But
Right?
another thing that I'd never even seen before,
Oh.
I can't remember what the name of it was, but there was this one stall with a bunch of plants. They had some succulents, they had some trees there, they had some maple trees, and they were all being grown in a ball of moss.
Yeah.
It was
Whoa.
the most,
Sort of like a terrarium style kind of thing.
not a terrarium.
No?
You could pick up the ball of moss with the plant in it
I thought
and
they
just
would have a cover.
have it.
Oh, what?
No cover.
I want
it's
it.
just
I want
a
it.
different way of growing an analog to a potted plant.
I'll go
Okay,
check it
nope.
out.
I
And-
want it. I want it. I want it.
Until I spent all my money on ties and some
How are you
prints,
gonna hold on to it for the rest
I
of the
was
day?
going to buy one of those.
Yeah.
They had a nice maple, and unfortunately, my wallet is in too much pain. It is weeping for mercy.
Did y'all see the booth with the 3D printer, and they were printing like really adorable pots for plants.
Oh, I haven't.
They
I haven't.
are
Oh my God.
phenomenal.
Oh, I've seen something similar before. It's like a Bulbasaur, for example, where a plant can come out on the back and you can
I've
have little.
actually seen those.
Those
Okay,
are super
so
cute.
There is a booth that is just printing.
Yeah.
Like really adorable pot, and like they design them all, so they made the STLs themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just there with a little printer, and it's just going, and those are so cute.
Now, the problem for you, Nancy, is you
Mm-hmm.
see these, and now you're going to want to print them yourself.
Yep, sure am.
Like, it's already probably been like churning in the back of your brain.
A little bit.
What different kinds of things, different kinds of flower pots. Or
I'm gonna print an
your own things.
axolotl.
An axolotl?
Yeah.
Are you gonna grow some herbs or kitchen seasonings in it?
I'm gonna put like a little basil plant in it,
Wonderful.
Oh.
so it's gonna
that's
look
cute.
like it's an axolotl with a little bit of basil sticking up.
I've actually got a basil plant sprouting right now.
Very
so,
nice.
if you print me one too,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
I'll give you a few of my sprouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
perfect.
see. I
Okay.
see. I like this
Perfect.
trend.
Axolotl for sprouts.
Like it.
The trade is now on the internet, so she can't go back on it.
Yep.
Yes.
It's recorded for the
Promised forever,
Yeah, for all of eternity.
for all eternity.
That basil better not die.
Yeah.
Basil, I think, has a pretty short life, unfortunately. I think they're fairly seasonal. I'm not 100%.
You would
sure,
be
but I feel-
surprised.
mean,
You
if you're
can get
growing it
basil
inside.
plants with the roots on them
Yeah.
from grocery stores.
Yeah.
I did that once about 3 years ago,
Is it still alive?
and the plant only died at the beginning of winter.
But that's kind of what I mean. Like they're not a long living plant. They don't have a long lifespan.
They don't have a long
The-
lifespan.
Yeah, but the great thing about them is that you can just snip a twig off,
And then
wrap it in a
start
wet
a-
paper towel. It'll
Yeah.
start growing roots, and then you just transplant that
True.
one back in while the old plant goes out,
Yeah.
and it's perfect.
Save a part of it.
Just keep propagating forever.
Fresh
Go-
basil is one of the nicest plants to have. It's just throw it on in your pasta, chop it up onto your pizza, anything.
Put it on your
else.
toast.
Just rub
I'm
your
liking
hand
it.
on it and smell it.
I would eat like
Uh,
a basil salad.
Pro tip: if you do rub it all over your hands, run some of that through your beard because it's a mosquito repellent.
Really?
Yeah, sure is.
I didn't know that.
What about bald-faced people? What do they do?
I was specifically addressing Angelo.
Put it in your
because-
hair.
Yeah, you can
have
put it
the
in your hair. The other side of the
face.
sphere.
Got you.
There you go.
Speaking of going back to, you said that you saw a friend that you hadn't seen in a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year I was like, I kind of wanted to introduce some of my other important people in my life to the things I do at Otafest. I haven't really done that before. I don't really know why, just because like Otafest has, in a sense, always been my own thing. But I've always encouraged other people to like invite their people. So I felt like I'm being very hypocritical here, which, felt kind of bad. So I invited one of my oldest best friends that I don't see very often, in all honesty. But I was like, I know that you have, sort of like video games and you've watched anime, but I know that it's not like a huge thing for you, but I think it'd still be interesting. So I invited him out. He's had a pretty good time. I couldn't hang out with him because, like I said, yesterday, for example, I didn't get a chance to do much of anything other than like, waiting for my next scheduled thing to happen or doing my scheduled thing. Today was kind of much the same. I also invited for the first time my mom.
Oh.
Because I was just like, I felt like it's kind of weird because like I've been volunteering for 15 years for Otafest since high school. I was 17 years old and been going through it. Mom's never really understood like she knows that Otafest is a good organization. She just has no idea what we really do
or what it looks like when you're here on the day.
And why do I disappear for a long weekend every year? Or like when I was younger, especially and living under her roof, like why do you disappear on me during these weekends? Like what are you doing? And I'm like, I know it sounds weird, but I'm just volunteering. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not cool. Okay. I'm just volunteering and playing board games with my friends who happen to run an anime convention. Okay.
I think you're cool.
And like, sort of like, it's been like 15 years and she knows of Otafest. She's always known of it, but she didn't really get it. I was just like, but she's retired now. She has lots of time. And I was like, here, please come see like the thing that I do. I don't mean that you need to see or do everything that, you know, we have for our attendees, but I think it was fun. And she wandered off into this morning she came in and then she wandered off into vendor's room and I've never seen her again. So I wonder if like I go to her house, like, you know,
she's going to have a bunch of mothballs with plants.
It'll be wall scrolls.
Oh.
Wall scrolls or figurines or something like that.
Oh,
but the first thing she did, as any Asian mom is expected to do, so I like introduced her to like Vicky, who runs our vendor room, and you know, just like, oh hi, you know, this is a fellow staff member, and then Vicky was immediately being like, as she's always pure and wholesome. It's the first thing she said was like, oh, did you know that like Jei designed like the merch shirt and stuff for this year? And she's like. And she showed it to her, and she's like, when did you learn Chinese? And I was like, how dare you? I wrote this myself. And I was just like, of course, I brought my mom here, and what do moms do? They sort of just rag on you a little bit and whatever. But
they immediately start
but it's
judging.
Out of love.
Yeah.
They rag on you out of love. Oh man.
It's also it's a kind of a highlight. It's a low light highlight.
Dang,
Definitely.
that's cool.
But no, it was I hope that more people can do that as well, because I know that sort of when you have like niche interests, it's not always easy to share that with the people who are important in your life. In a sense where like, I need you to read this manga or, you know, listen to this K-pop soundtrack or whatever. But I think it's interesting and important to share that, you know, your passions.
Yeah, so a very, very old friend of mine who's known me since junior high, since before I started doing any voice acting, since when I was a very small, introverted, shy child, I gave her a pass to come to Otafest because she's been going through, you know, some tough times.
Sure.
And she needed, you know, just a little bit of a break from the mental crisis. And she came both days. She's been here both days.
That's great.
I've run into her accidentally both days.
Accidentally, you're like, here's a pass. Oh, you're here?
Well, see, considering how busy it's been this weekend, I fully expected to not just run into her. Like, I expected that I would need to, like, be, hey, where are you right now? Let's meet up for 5 minutes, or, you know, where are you? What are you doing? And I ran into her by accident in the vendor's hall and in the entrance right near arcade.
That's great.
And it was just like, oh, hi. How is it? And she's like, I love it. I love it so much more than I thought I would. I'm not a professed weeb, but like, I feel like I'm out of touch with anime because like last time I truly loved an anime, it was like, I'm stuck in the late 90s, mid 2000s.
You like Carol and Tuesday.
Carol and Tuesday's good. And anyway, so you know, she's back into it. You know, she loves it. She feels the energy.
Good.
And it's good. It's good to see. And it's good to share and have someone just really, truly enjoy it when they get here.
Another thing that's like related, have a lot of friends that are like normally come to Otafest, but as we have, you know, evolved and grown up in our lives, some of us have moved away. Like, maybe we were from Calgary or like have come to Otafest a lot, but like we don't see them every Otafest. But friends that have come back, I've seen a lot of friends that they're like, they live in the States or they live in a different province, or sometimes they just can't make it out. But a lot of them have made it like a point to come this year. And this is probably the year that I've hugged the most people, and I'm very happy. There's staff members even that have moved around, and again, some live in the States, and I didn't know that they'd come back. And when I saw them today, I just like lost my mind a little bit. It's just like, this is a slice of home, and it's like seeing your favorite family.
This is the ultimate reunion that I could have asked for.
I actually remember when we were doing our first sound check, making sure all the soundboard and the microphones and everything worked with the laptop.
Yeah.
And it was like being...
There was one
like-
person who walked in, and Jay on all the microphones just peaked every single one. He was like, oh!
Yeah. That's our sketch, or Artist Alley / Sketch Drive staff member, Christina. She's been with us for a very long time as well. I don't know if I think she's technically a day of staff role, but that was her like historical role. And she does this thing that's really special to us. I can't show anyone obviously on the audio side, but she draws on all of our guests or all of our badges. So if you have time and she's got time, you know, for a quick 5-minute sketch of like you and maybe your favorite like Pokemon or something like that, she'll do that for you. And it's just like on almost all of my Otafest badges is a picture that she drew, because like that's just part of the tradition of being here. So I don't know, it's just like I said, it's like a family reunion, and not everyone can always make it to the family reunion. But when you see, I just realized that I'm like a absent-minded golden retriever, where someone leaves for 5 minutes, and when they come back, I'm like, oh my god, I thought you were dead.
I thought you were gone forever.
Exactly. So I have some of that syndrome, but I really do just love seeing everyone come back together.
I adore
feel
this
like
mental image of you.
It's not hard to make Jay happy or to get like
It's
a
not.
good chuckle out of him.
Yeah.
But I think that particular moment was just the pure, unadulterated joy that I don't think I've ever actually seen from Jay. Not to that degree, at least.
I'm a pretty happy person, but for sure, like, I have extra reasons to be happy. Not just seeing the people that I know, but seeing everybody that I don't know, but I know that are part of the community come back. A lot of our long-timers that I don't even necessarily know in person, but I see them so much that I know they're just part of us. And if I don't see them, I'll be like, that's weird. And it applies to so many levels. Like, I'm talking volunteers, staff, all the community members, guests even. Like, having Brendan Hunter is great because he is intricately interwoven into our...
He's woven into the fabric of
the
Otafest.
404s as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, seeing them again after so long. Wow.
Yeah. And as I'll throw it out there that I thought it feels weird to do a 2-day con.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think we can handle more than a 2-day con right now. But I love seeing everybody in this, especially though it's condensed and that it's crazy and it's the busiest we've ever been, that we're all getting together here. So I'm super sentimental. I haven't seen the May Cafe dance yet.
Me neither.
I've always said it's like gonna be always a little baby to me. So when I'm gonna see the dance, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. That's been building up, I'm sure. I
think for the last 3 episodes, we've been saying how you could get Maid Cafe tickets online or you could get them at the door. And then we said, they're sold out. Yeah. There's going to be a couple the day of.
Yeah.
I basically resigned myself to not being able to go to the Maid Cafe. It is what it is, but that just means a lucky con goer got to go instead of me. It's
true.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sorry we're sold out.
Yeah.
Like there's
in a perfect world we could do it all.
Absolutely. But like even in vendors, I found someone who was selling exceptionally cozy hoodies, and I have a horrible weak spot for hoodies. And I went up to them and I was like, hey, these are really cute. And the first thing he said was, I'm really sorry. I wasn't expecting the Calgary reception to be so warm. So I'm very out of stock on most things except for my display items. And then within 5 minutes, he also turned around and just sold like his last of the extra smalls in black to the kid I was with. And it was just like, my dude, you're just, here, take my money, please. I want a hoodie. I still want a hoodie.
Yeah.
I still want it. I'm not going to get it like until,
now
3 weeks from now, but here you go.
Yeah.
same thing happened to me. I was at a booth for an artist. I was getting some prints, and they're like, "There's this one print here. The display is the last one I have. You could pick it up like 5 minutes before vendors closes, or I could just ship you a new one." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, you can just ship me one?" As if I'm buying it on the internet?
I've
Like
never
Amazon doesn't
done that.
exist.
I don't think I've actually done that at a convention though.
No,
Like I've
that is-
never.
That is a service
Respect it.
that a lot of people don't know about.
I know, but it's like not a lot of people who are vendors at conventions actually like offer it or like really strongly promote it unless they're like really running out of stock. And we're talking like the guy had like 6 hoodies left.
I mean, the lady who sold me the print said she wouldn't even charge me shipping.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Same. The guy who I bought the hoodie with, he was like, "I'll just send it to you for free," and I'm like,
So,
"Thank you."
I've got a 20-inch by 36-inch
Wow.
vinyl print
Ooh.
of Angelo from Digimon coming to the mail.
Wow. Wow.
I'm excited.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
I don't even know what part of the wall I'm putting it on. All I know is that if there's not enough wall, I'll make enough wall.
Just time to buy a new wall. That's what people
Clearly,
do, right?
Right? You just go to Walmart,
I was
buy
just
a wall.
about to say. My God, that's so bad.
It's been so long since I've been in a large vendors hall full of weeby stuff that I kind of went around and just wanted everything.
Yes.
I think at some point today, I needed to like call Dio and ask her if I could have a bomber jacket, just because I needed someone to stop me from having a bomber jacket.
Oh my God!
Are you saying your
called
husband's just
Dio?
an enabler?
Yes, Sean is
called
100%
Dio to
an
ask
enabler.
that? Dio's an enabler.
Yeah, but Dio can at least exercise a little bit of self-control on my conscience,
No,
whereas
it's your
Sean,
wallet. She
Sean
wanted-
will
she doesn't
indiscriminately
care.
enable and just say, "Oh, you want a thing? Do you want me to pay for?" No, I don't want you to pay for it. Stop.
You could call up Dio and be like, "Dio, there's this really cute dog, but they want like 10 grand for it. I don't know if I can take out a loan for this amount."
Dio, I need you to not convince me.
The other day when we went for lunch and we were like, we saw this like sake in it, like what's the place?
Oh, the yuzu sake at
yuzu sake.
Ooh.
Izuka?
Ikusa.
Ikusa.
Other way around.
They have a good one. I also
Yeah.
like their strawberry
And
one.
you were like, I don't know about getting it.
Yeah, and then we were just like,
we're getting it.
yay!
It was really good sake.
Money is temporary. Happiness is forever.
Heck yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm very happy for that. That is for people who didn't hear, money is temporary, happiness is forever. Remember that.
Yep.
I mean,
What? Are you going to say endorphins aren't forever?
there are certain points in time where I think I need at least as much money.
Can I pay my rent with endorphin?
Can I pay my rent with happiness?
Yeah.
Will you as my landlord come to my room and enjoy my weeby stuff and then not evict me?
That's
I
just
mean, depending on the landlord, if you give them some of the sake,
Ooh.
maybe.
Good
they
call.
might cut you a discount.
Yeah. We have to sort of do this whole thing where you become like blood family as well. It's you swear fealty to each other.
Oh, that sounds
It gets very deep.
that sounds serious.
Because you would never evict a family member.
Oh, I see what you're getting
Says
at.
you.
Wow.
On today's episode of the Otafest podcast, Angelo is heartless.
Yeah.
Going for blood.
Going for the jugular.
I think it's getting pretty close for us to wrap up this episode. I think it's getting pretty close to wrap up the con too, which is real sad.
Which is just like, what happened? The last 2 days just
It
flew
blinked.
by.
I can't believe it. What if we did a 4-day con? Let's double it now.
Let's talk about that later. later.
That's-
I just heard every like executive level staff member just like have a heart attack.
I don't even have that many responsibilities for Otafest, but I feel like I got a little paler there.
Just gonna cut you off right
Before
there.
we cut out, I'm going to do a little corporate chilling and say a huge thank you to TELUS for sponsoring us, also to the TELUS Convention Center for hosting us, and to ATB as well, who's helped us out with a lot of our sponsorship this year, alongside all of our sponsors, all of our performers, our guests, our vendors, and of course each and every community member, from the first time attendee to the longest tenured staff member.
So, ATB,
Yeah.
if you sign up with them here, you can get an Otafest Ceph debit MasterCard with them.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that
It's
crazy?
super cool.
It's adorable. I saw the artwork.
Yeah.
Dio has one, and every time she uses it, a lot of people are like, wait, what?
What is this?
I know that some other cards are supposed to do it, but this ATP is the only one I know that like regularly does it. So
Yeah,
I think
It's
sure.
it's
just
sick.
super cool.
Again, thank you so much for everyone who came to our live show, everyone who listens online, and to our future audience as well. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Oh my God, it's so loud outside.
It's bumping out there.
All right.
I think we
guess
should go see what's
Clearly,
going on.
we have to go see what's going on.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
So,
That's
Thank
it.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.